Introduction: Why Stoicism Matters Today. The unexamined life is not worth living, Socrates famously said. Yet here's the part most people miss: examination without action is just entertainment for the mind. Right now, as you watch this, a conversation is happening in your head. Maybe you're replaying an awkward moment from yesterday, worrying about a presentation tomorrow, or judging these very words. That chatter has been running your life far too long. Ancient Stoics discovered something revolutionary, something that modern neuroscience now confirms. You are not your thoughts. You are the consciousness observing them. You have the power to decide which thoughts deserve your energy and which should be dismissed like uninvited guests at a party. But here's where most people get stuck: they read inspirational quotes, feel motivated for 7 minutes, and then slip back into old habits. Knowledge without application is just sophisticated procrastination. Today, Sculpted Grace is guiding you beyond feel-good philosophy into 12 battle-tested Stoic strategies, principles that have helped humans navigate chaos, adversity, and uncertainty for over 2 millennia. These are not abstract ideas. They are practical tools to organize your inner world, operate from calm clarity, and make life work for you, silently, consistently, and powerfully. Lesson 1: The dichotomy of control. Stop fighting unwinnable battles. The foundation of Stoic wisdom rests on a deceptively simple idea: some things are within your control, others are not. Epictetus, a former slave, understood powerlessness deeply and taught that true wealth lies not in accumulating possessions, but in minimizing wants. This principle extends far beyond material goods. It's about recognizing the domain where your actual power resides. Your boss's unpredictable moods, the stock market, your neighbor's opinion, or tomorrow's weather, these are outside your control. Yet, how much of your mental energy do they occupy? Every wasted thought on uncontrollable circumstances is a drain on your mental currency. Now consider what you can control: your thoughts about these situations, your emotional responses, the actions you take, the effort you invest, and the meaning you assign to events. This is your domain of sovereignty, and it's vast. Redirecting energy from unwinnable battles transforms your life. Instead of obsessing over others' opinions or trying to prevent every negative outcome, focus on your decisions, your effort, and your values. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire amidst plagues and wars, reminded himself daily: confine yourself to the present. The present moment is where your control lies. Practical application: create 2 columns, my control and not my control. Every time you feel stress, categorize the triggers. For controllable items, take concrete action. For uncontrollable ones, practice acceptance. Anxiety drops, effectiveness rises, and relationships improve, all because you're finally exercising your true power rather than exhausting yourself on impossible battles. Lesson 2: The view from above. Gain cosmic perspective. When life feels overwhelming, the Stoics teach you to zoom out. Marcus Aurelius, faced with plagues, war, and betrayal, discovered that changing perspective literally changes reality. This view from above involves imagining your life from progressively larger vantage points: first your room, then your city, country, the planet, solar system, and finally the galaxy. Suddenly, daily annoyances shrink in significance. Your worries don't disappear, but they become manageable, allowing clarity and rational responses instead of reactive panic. This isn't minimizing challenges, it's right-sizing them so you respond effectively rather than emotionally. Imagine losing a job, facing criticism, or a relationship strain. At ground level, it feels catastrophic. Step back, though, and you can see the lessons hidden in these events. Perhaps the job loss pushes you toward work aligned with your values. Criticism may reveal areas for growth, and relationship challenges teach boundaries or patience. Even science agrees, when you detach slightly from an emotionally charged situation, your prefrontal cortex activates, enabling rational thinking, while your amygdala, the fear center, calms. Practically, whenever you face stress, ask, how will this matter in 5 years? What advice would I give a friend? This simple mental exercise cultivates emotional resilience. Over time, you stop being trapped by problems and start consciously choosing how to interpret and respond to them. Lesson 3: The obstacle is the path. Transform resistance into strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Stoicism reframes challenges not as obstacles to avoid, but as the curriculum for growth. Just like muscles strengthen under resistance, your character, resilience, and skills develop through adversity. Each challenge you face, be it career setbacks, financial strain, health issues, or difficult relationships, is a deliberate training ground designed to make you stronger and wiser. Consider losing a job unexpectedly. Initial fear or frustration is natural. But this obstacle may force you to develop skills, pursue meaningful opportunities, or discover your resilience. A difficult person in your life may teach patience, communication, or boundary setting. Financial hardship cultivates discipline and resourcefulness. Every challenge contains potential benefits if you shift your perception from victimhood to active engagement. Stoics ask, what is this here to teach me? How can I use it to grow? Each difficulty becomes an opportunity to transform adversity into mastery, and over time, obstacles no longer block you, they propel you forward. Lesson 4: Negative visualization, the counterintuitive path to gratitude. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, believed that nothing demonstrates a well-ordered mind more than a man who can sit alone in his own company and appreciate life as it is. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, involves imagining the loss of things you value most, not to invite misfortune, but to cultivate gratitude and emotional resilience. Everything in your life, your health, relationships, home, or career, is temporary. Most people take this for granted, assuming these blessings are permanent. Stoics, however, remind us that anticipating loss strengthens our appreciation in the present. Practical application: Spend a few minutes weekly imagining life without one of your current blessings. What if you could no longer see, walk, or work in your current job? What if a loved one were suddenly gone? This isn't pessimism, it's a tool for presence. By imagining these scenarios, you awaken deep gratitude for what exists now. Ordinary moments gain vibrancy, a morning coffee tastes richer, a walk feels more precious, a conversation becomes more meaningful. Epictetus taught, "He is wise who rejoices in what he has, not mourns for what he lacks." Over time, negative visualization reduces attachment, builds emotional resilience, and equips you to meet real-life losses with dignity rather than despair. Lesson 5, Evening Reflection. Become your own life coach. Every day offers countless lessons, yet most people allow these insights to slip away unnoticed. Evening reflection, a habit practiced by Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, transforms ordinary experiences into powerful growth opportunities. By deliberately reviewing the day, you identify successes, mistakes, lessons, and moments of gratitude. This practice is like auditing your life. It turns experience into wisdom and reinforces patterns that align with your values. Evening reflection is not self-criticism, it's a commitment to continuous improvement and self-awareness. Here's a practical approach. Each night, take 10 minutes to write down one thing you did well, one area to improve, one lesson learned, and one moment you're grateful for. For instance, if you had a conflict at work, analyze what triggered you, what could have been handled differently, and what this reveals about your communication style or boundaries. Did you respond according to your values? Successes also deserve attention. What enabled you to achieve them, and how can you replicate that tomorrow? Over time, this process enhances self-awareness, decision-making, and emotional regulation, allowing you to approach each new day with clarity and purpose. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I grow stronger and wiser with each day. Lesson 6, The Sacred Pause. Master the space between stimulus and response. Viktor Frankl famously observed that between stimulus and response lies a space, and within that space lies our power to choose our response. Stoics knew this centuries earlier. The sacred pause is the conscious moment between what happens to you and how you react. This space is where emotional freedom and true power reside. Most people react automatically, letting primitive impulses drive anger, fear, or frustration. The Stoics, however, trained themselves to pause, consider their values, and respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Practical application. Begin with micro moments. When someone triggers you, take a deep breath before responding. Ask, what response serves me best? What aligns with my values? What creates the outcome I truly want? For example, when someone cuts you off in traffic, you can choose anger, curiosity, or compassion. When receiving critical feedback, you can react defensively or seek constructive insight. Each pause strengthens your prefrontal cortex, enhances emotional regulation, and cultivates conscious choice. Over time, this practice turns reactive patterns into deliberate actions, allowing you to navigate relationships and challenges with wisdom, influence, and inner calm. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I choose my response from wisdom, not reaction. Lesson 7. Focus your circle of influence. Stop trying to change everyone else. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." The Stoics understood that the most effective way to create meaningful change is not to fight what you cannot control, but to direct energy toward what you can influence. Imagine 3 concentric circles. The innermost represents your direct control, your thoughts, emotions, and actions. The middle represents your influence, your relationships, work, and community. The outermost represents your concern, global politics, other people's choices, and the uncontrollable aspects of life. Most people waste mental energy on the outer circle, feeling frustrated and powerless. Stoics focus on the inner and middle circles, where real impact is possible. Practical application: make a list of everything currently stressing you. For each item, ask, is this in my direct control, my circle of influence, or just my circle of concern? Accept what lies outside your influence and let it go. Take constructive action within your influence, develop skills, improve relationships, suggest solutions, and lead by example. Over time, focusing on actionable areas not only reduces frustration but naturally expands your influence. For example, instead of complaining about workplace policies, focus on how you can improve your own performance, build trust with colleagues, and suggest positive changes. The more you act intentionally within your sphere, the more your impact grows silently and steadily, as the Stoics taught. Lesson 8. Live according to your values. Be the person you respect. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Yet the quality of those thoughts is deeply influenced by the clarity of your values. Living according to your deepest values, regardless of external circumstances, is the foundation upon which all other Stoic principles rest. Too often, people chase success, approval, or comfort defined by others, leaving their inner world misaligned and empty. Stoicism teaches that true fulfillment comes from integrity, authenticity, and living in accordance with what truly matters to you, not societal expectations. Practical application: write down your top 5 personal values. For each, identify one concrete way to embody that value in your daily life. When faced with decisions, ask, which choice better honors my deepest values? For instance, if honesty is a core value, choose transparency even when it's uncomfortable. If growth is a value, embrace challenges rather than avoiding them. When you live this way, decisions become clearer, setbacks are reframed, and external approval becomes irrelevant. Your sense of purpose and self-worth grows internally, creating what the Stoics called self-sufficiency. Living in alignment with values transforms obstacles, criticism, and failures into opportunities for authentic expression and personal strength. Lesson 9. Amor Fati, love your fate. The Stoics believed in embracing life exactly as it is, rather than resisting it. Amor Fati, or love of fate, is the art of accepting every event as necessary and potentially beneficial, even challenges and setbacks. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily, reminding himself that the universe's design, while beyond his control, offered opportunities to develop virtue, resilience, and wisdom. This mindset transforms life's unavoidable difficulties from sources of frustration into instruments of growth. When you stop resisting reality and start embracing it, life becomes less about struggle and more about mastery over your own perception and responses. Practical application: next time a setback occurs, be it a difficult coworker, a financial loss, or an unexpected delay, pause and ask, how can this serve my growth? What opportunity lies hidden in this challenge? For example, a cancelled trip could become an opportunity to spend quality time at home or learn a new skill. A project failure might reveal gaps in knowledge or inspire creativity in problem solving. By loving your fate, you no longer waste energy wishing life were different. Instead, you channel energy toward what can be controlled: your responses, mindset, and actions. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I embrace my life fully and use every circumstance for growth. Lesson 10: The Power of Journaling. Clarify your mind. The Stoics were meticulous about recording their thoughts, reflections, and lessons learned. Marcus Aurelius' Meditations is perhaps the most famous example, written as a personal journal to guide his own growth and maintain clarity amidst chaos. Journaling isn't just about writing down what happened, it's a tool to organize your inner world, track patterns, and solidify understanding. When you put thoughts on paper, you externalize mental clutter, gain perspective, and reveal recurring emotional triggers that silently shape your behavior. Practical application: commit to a daily journaling practice. Begin each entry by asking, what did I learn today? What challenges did I face? How did I respond, and how could I respond better next time? Include gratitude, lessons, and action steps. For example, after a stressful meeting, write down your reactions, analyze whether they aligned with your values, and plan improvements for future encounters. Over time, journaling becomes a mirror reflecting your growth, helping you act intentionally rather than react impulsively. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I clarify my mind and guide my growth through daily reflection. Lesson 11: Practice self-discipline, freedom through constraint. Stoics believed that true freedom comes not from indulgence, but from self-discipline. By mastering impulses and desires, you create a life directed by reason rather than fleeting emotions. Epictetus, a former slave, demonstrated that internal freedom is possible even when external circumstances are harsh. Self-discipline isn't about punishment or denial, it's about choosing what serves long-term growth rather than immediate gratification. By exercising control over small actions consistently, you build the mental and emotional resilience needed to face bigger challenges. Practical application: identify one area where impulsive reactions or distractions hold you back: social media, unhealthy eating, or procrastination. Set clear boundaries, such as limiting usage or creating structured routines. For example, replace scrolling your phone first thing in the morning with a 10-minute meditation or journaling session. Each small act of self-discipline strengthens your ability to choose responses consciously, redirect energy toward what matters, and cultivate calm confidence. Over time, these seemingly minor daily decisions compound into profound freedom, empowering you to act consistently in alignment with your values and long-term goals. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I choose discipline today to create freedom tomorrow. Lesson 12, Death and Impermanence, Live with Urgency and Appreciation. The Stoics constantly reflected on the fleeting nature of life. Seneca famously wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Death is inevitable, and understanding impermanence transforms perspective. Instead of fearing death, Stoics used it to sharpen focus, appreciate the present, and prioritize what truly matters. Every moment gains weight when you internalize that your time is limited, motivating deliberate action over procrastination and emotional reactivity. Practical application: integrate a daily reminder of impermanence. Visualize one day that your life could change unexpectedly. Someone you love could be gone, an opportunity could vanish, or your health could decline. Use this awareness not as fear, but as a compass for intentional living. Prioritize meaningful relationships, purposeful work, and small daily joys. For example, instead of postponing a difficult conversation or delaying a personal goal, act now with clarity and courage. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I live each day fully, with purpose, presence, and gratitude.